In Italy, Godou is looking for someone to deliver the tabua stone to. He asked several people about someone he could pass the stone to, but no one had any idea about such a person. Godou is the grandson of a famous researcher, with him oftentimes leaving items like this lying around. Godou is then rudely interrupted by a loud young blonde girl. She pulls out a knife, threatening Godou, in Italian, telling him to hand over the grimoire. When she realizes that the boy will not understand, she asks him in English. She says, and he needs to hand over the item. He tells her that he can't do this as it belongs to someone else, but she jumps behind him pointing her blade. Godou is afraid and confused, asking if he's being mugged or if this a mugging. She's slightly embarrassed as she thinks the guy might truly be a civilian. At the same time, a roar echoes in the city where they are. Just then, a large creature appears in the middle of town, making both of them frightened. She claims that what they're looking at is a heretic god. Godou begins to narrate that in 48 hours from now, he will become the 7th king of the world. The woman looks at it and tells Godou he should leave, and before she can explain, she runs off calling for Ariana. Ariana, a young woman who drives a red car, appears, and the young blonde, called Erica, jumps to the roof of the car. They run in the heretic god, which has the appearance of a giant boar. The boar begins to tear apart the city, with it being too dangerous for Ariana. Erica makes a magic circle that gives her the boots of Hermes, so she jumps on air. She then makes an incantation and summons a sword, calling it Cuore di Leone. She fires a blast of energy towards the big boar, but it has no effect as this is a divine beast, so she needs more power. Meanwhile, Godou runs, searching and chasing the young blonde, Erica, but he ends up tripping, dropping the tablet on the floor. It's then picked up by a young purple-haired boy who appears to him. Godou tries to convince the boy to leave, as it's not safe. The boy laughs off the comment, saying he ought to take the grimoire for himself, and says he once tried to revive a king of the ancient gods, among other things. But now his plans have changed, but he once was regarded as an undefeatable king. Boy sounds like his grandfather. The boy then asks how he got the stone. Godou explains that he is trying to deliver the artifact to a friend of his grandfather, and the purple-haired boy starts to laugh maniacally at his response. The boy thinks Godou is fun, comes from a good family, and might become a good warrior one day, so he will allow Godou to hold onto the tablet, activating it. A white horse appears to Godou, and the boy disappears while the grimoire shines. In the battle with the giant boar, Erica is unable to stand the pressure exerted against the god. It pushes her back, but Godou rescues her. The boar then disappears in a tornado, and when they look again, all they see is a destroyed building. At the train station, Erica begins to explain the origin of the heretic gods to Godou. She says that normal humans do not see the gods, but who see these events as a natural disaster. But Godou explains that he's only here to deliver the artifact to Lucretia Zola. Erica is shocked and asks, how does he know the great mage? Godou doesn't know the details, but Lucretia let his grandfather hold on to it, with it sounding more or less like his grandfather was friends with benefits with the woman. Erica gives him a look and calls his grandfather a player for pulling that off. Moving on, Godou doesn't know why the train is taking so long. Erica says this is exactly why she didn't want to take the train. Godou fires back at her, as she never said, but he wonders why she's here. She reminds him she's a knight, is the copper-black cross, and under normal circumstances, she'd just take the grimoire, but figures he's trustworthy, but still must see it handed over properly. Godou reminds her she tried to mug him, but the girl has amnesia, smiling back at him. Erica then gets up, telling him to carry her luggage as they'll go by car. In a dark, vampire-like room, a figure tells one of his women to prepare as the battle between kings will begin soon. At the home of Lucretia, the car Ariana drove has seen better days, as it's badly beaten down. Godou thought he'd die, and Erica explains that the girl's only faults as a maid is being unable to make stew and being a terrible driver. Just then, a black cat talks to them. Erica explains to the cat that they're here with a delivery from Godou's grandfather for Lucretia. Inside, the woman tells her cat thank you, as she's just being lazy, not getting the door. They find that the Great Witch does not look like someone in her 70s, but who has a very youthful appearance. Godou blushes seeing this woman in lingerie, as he's surprised to see her look young. Lucretia is confused, and Godou blushes, reminded of the relationship his grandfather had. Lucretia says she might be old, but her body is not on the decline, asking Godou if he'd want to give her body a try. Godou swallows heavily, thinking about the offer. Erica is annoyed, calling him lewd. Moving on, she picks up the book, calling it the Book of Prometheus. She thinks about all the memories she's had with the book, having an idea about Godou's future, so she asks him about if he had any accidents coming here. Godou admits he has and retells the story. Upon hearing it, she hands it back to Godou as it looks like the gods have already spoken. Erica is outraged as Godou is a beginner to all this, but Lucretia says the boy will have to face it. Later that night, Adranka tells Godou to pour another glass for her, but it turns out she's so drunk that she's talking to a mask. Godou calls for the maid, but the older girl is also out of it, drunk. Godou carries her back to Erica's bedroom. He has to admit the Italian woman is quite attractive. The woman tells him to hurry up, freaking Godou out as he's never unzipped a woman's dress before. Godou manages to undress her like a gentleman and puts the covers over her so she won't catch a cold. However, when he heads for the doorknob, he notices that it's locked. He calls out for someone to open it, but that's unlikely to happen, as the cat, under the witch's orders, is behind this, with it coming from Lucretia, who wishes him good luck with the ladies as his story begins. The next day, he's beaten half to death by Erica. He begs her to stop, as he didn't do anything last night, but Erica knows she's untouched, as he'd already be dead otherwise. Erica says the problem is he's seen a rather unpleasant side to her, and that calls for punishment. Just then, a loud boom rings out, signaling the Heretic God. Outside, Erica and Godou find a god walking Melkart. She stops to ask the mighty god what he's about to do. Melkart is happy to know people are still worthy enough to know his name. He explains he's out to fight someone. Just then, a lightning bolt hits the god, coming from the sky. Reveal the clouds comes a evil-looking figure, being the god, Pontus. According to Erica, Melkart is going to battle one of the Mediterranean gods, meaning she has to stop the gods from fighting. He tries to stop her from going as she might be hurt. This touches Erica, and she allows him to come, telling him no matter what, she will not save him. The witch told him the story behind the tablet, as it holds a god's avatar being a source of power. She also tells her a bit about Erica, as no matter how hard she trained, she'd never be able to battle a god, so she's sure she's under a lot of pressure. At the battle site, Melkart is about to fight a purple-haired boy, with Godou recognizing him as Verethragna. Lucrezia explains about the 10 incarnations in Godou's flashback. Before the gods are about to fight, Verethragna collects his avatars, the bird of prey and the ram. He states he has one more to go. Erica begs them to stop, but Verethragna strikes her with lightning, as he feels she should know her place. Godou doesn't like that and rescues her, and he asks Melkart to form an alliance with him, which Melkart, as he has the last avatar that Verethragna needs to achieve his peak. Surprisingly, Melkart finds it amusing and agrees. Verethragna smiles as he was right about the boy, striking him, telling him to make it amusing for him, but his attempt is blocked by Melkart as he's given them his protection. Erica then asks Godou what he plans to do now, but Godou smiles, having never thought ahead. Erica is confused why he's smiling, but Godou doesn't know. However, Verethragna knows this isn't enough to make him lose, using his golden sword to cut through Melkart's divine interpretation barrier. As the sword has the power to cut through divinity, meaning it's like Asta's sword to counter all magic in Black Clover. More than anything, Verethragna wishes to know what defeat is. Erica begs him to leave, but Godou plans to use the tablet even if the price is death. Erica gives Godou a kiss on the cheek, and Godou uses the grimoire of Prometheus to fire a shot of divinity at Verethragna. Godou explains he has stolen the golden sword, but he doesn't know what to do. Erica kisses Godou, and a golden light shines and radiates. Multiple golden swords appear as his battlefield, and one strikes Verethragna in the abdomen. In Godou's dream, Pandora mentions about the black art that she and Epimetheus had left behind, and a birth between a fool and a witch. She tells Godou that he has sacrificed his soul to defeat the god Verethragna, so he will be reborn as the god's slayer, Campione. Godou wakes up from the dream to be back in his bed in Japan, with it being a week since he defeated the god Verethragna. As he's getting dressed for school, he notices a sleeping woman in his bed, as it's none other than Erica. The woman tells him to get her a cappuccino, as if it's an everyday thing for her to be there. Godou yells at her to put something decent on. Shizuka puts together the story that Godou had explained. While Ariana tends to the food, Shizuka finds it hard to believe that Erica dislikes him like he says. Erica reminds Godou that she's right here and that it's rude. Erica shares their hot experiences with each other. causing Shizuka to get suspicious. Ariana translates bacio for Shizuka, with it being a kiss in English. As Godou gazes upon Erica's figure, telling her to get dressed, Erica reminds him that these are clothes, teasing him as he sounds like he's having other thoughts. Godou tells himself to calm down, as this is nothing more than a honey trap, so he must purge himself of all emotions. But then he thinks a tiny peek wouldn't hurt. Shizuka demands Godou to chat with her privately. In school, Godou's friend informs him about a transfer student from Italy arriving today. Godou closes his eyes and recalls the moment he killed Verethragna. Verethragna praises Godou and tells him to stay alive until they meet again. As he wonders about why Erica has come to Japan, Erica enters the room and introduces herself. She declares that she has promised her future to Godou and takes the seat of a girl nearby to sit next to him by using her magic to hypnotize her. Godou is confused about why she's here, and Erica mentions she's bought an apartment that they can live in later. Godou is stopped as the entire male population is ready to attack, feeling betrayed and jealous. Erica finds it amusing and reveals that the two have already spent a night together. To prevent the situation from getting worse, Godou grabs Erica's hand and rushes out of the classroom, though he grabs the hand of a girl he doesn't know. The girl introduces herself as Maria Yuri. Elsewhere, Liliana reports to Sasha about the new Campione, while a dead servant grabs Liliana's face because Sasha is just a weirdo. Sasha tells Liliana not to fail him. Meanwhile, Godou is walking Yuri home and tries to explain to Yuri that what Erica said is not true. Yuri bows down and begs him, the Demon King, not to punish her. But if he must, then let it only be her. Godou is confused, and in walks Amakasu, who introduces himself and his organization in Japan. Over at the shrine, Amakasu states that when supernatural events happen in the area, his organization deals with it, with shrine maidens like Yuri assisting them. He explains it wasn't Godou's fault for grabbing her, but Yuri using power to switch herself with Erica. Amakasu bows, wanting to establish a connection with Godou. It's made clear that Yuri has made contact with another king before, being Sasha, so she's used to giving them the highest respect. However, Godou requests Yuri to address him by his name instead of the king. Then Amakasu prepares to talk to him about Erica. Arriving home, Shizuka scolds Godou for attacking Yuri, as she's the president of the tea club, being the calm beauty of the school that girls look up to. With rumors saying that Godou grabbed her, Godou tries to explain it's not true, but his sister continues by talking about how close he is with Erica. Godou is tired of this conversation and leaves. At the shrine, Amakasu warns him about how Erica, as her looks attracted a lot of people, but still she never once allowed herself to have a boyfriend. But all of a sudden, here she is with Godou, deducing that it's because he's a Campione. Amakasu states that the Copper Black Cross is attempting to add Godou into their organization by using Erica. Godou finds Erica lying beside him and tells her to go away. When Godou tells Erica to be honest with her feelings with him, Erica has Godou come back to Italy. Godou can't believe he had to come back here when all they had to do was go to a cafe to chat or something. In Italy, Ariana leaves Godou as she also has an errand. Suddenly, Athena appears behind Godou and asks if he's the God Slayer. She states that she is after the snake that he holds. But Godou isn't interested in a fight. Athena leaves after having her owls attack him. Then, Erica arrives with people from the Magician Society of Italy. Erica prepares herself for a duel after pulling out her Cuore di Leone. She attacks Godou with no warning and explains that she is testing Godou's strength. She summons her Lion of Steel to attack Godou. Godou uses his bull's strength to throw the lion, this being the second ability of his avatars. The lion then blasts Godou with red beams of energy. To dodge the attack from the lion, Godou taps in his Bird of Prey's abilities. She tells Godou that gods won't be so forgiving as to what she's allowed here, as she's holding back. When Erica uses Golgotha Words of Power, but Godou reveals this was all a part of his plan, warning her he doesn't have full control, so she should run. He then hurls the boar at Erica. The boar runs through the Colosseum. Erica says he's reached his limit, but she lets her guard down and Godou tackles and pins Erica down. Erica confirms that Godou has passed the test. The magicians applaud Godou on his victory and accept Godou. Erica tells him it's time for him to take responsibility for pinning her. When Godou asks Erica about her true feelings, Erica explains that she is truly in love with him by her own will. She materializes the Gorgonean medal in her hand before Godou. Meanwhile, an owl spies on Godou and Erica while Liliana observes the scene. As Yuri combs her hair, it breaks her comb. Exiting her home, Amaterasu tells Yuri about the pending disaster that involves Godou. Out in the city, Yuri can't believe that the boy would be involved with the Society of Magic, but Amaterasu asks that she go verify the story. On the way to school, she sees Erica lock arms with Godou telling her not to be so clingy, making Yuri troubled. On top of the tallest building, Athena calls forth the Gorgonean. In school, Godou remarks how Erica is very popular as it's rumored that she comes from nobility. She asks why he's looking so glum, and Godou says it's because she became popular so quickly. Erica finds this natural as bees will always circle a pretty flower, saying this would be the outcome, no matter where she'd go. Outside, the same girls glare at Godou as they think Erica could pick a better boyfriend. Out in the hallway, Yuri asks Godou to speak with her in private. Yuri apologizes for asking this of him, but it's no problem to Godou as he's not interested in this king nonsense. Yuri is surprised, and he says that he's been telling Erica the same thing, but she doesn't listen. Yuri asks if he brought the Gorgonean to Japan, with her explaining it's a divine instrument of power. Godou denies bringing it as he's never heard of it, but when Yuri describes what it looks like, he begins to sweat and hands it to her. Yuri yells at Godou to be more considerate of his actions, as the little mistakes he makes can have consequences that could end the world. Godou believes she's overreacting, which makes her blush. Their conversations continue at the shrine, where she states the prophecy. Erica shows up, thanking her for teaching him more about the Gorgonean, but warns she can't be more than a teacher. Yuri demands to know what the witch is planning, as she's endangering the entire country. She says she's not planning anything at all and states that Godou can defeat the Gorgonean, as he's the Campione. Yuri finds this irresponsible. She then asks Yuri to track down the summoner. Yuri is hesitant, but Erica's seriousness makes her act. With an incantation, a green aura surrounds Yuri, with her spotting Athena at the top of the bridge. Erica and Godou hurry to track down Athena. Eventually, the two are confronted on the top of a building by Athena. As Athena introduces herself, she states Godou is her enemy for stealing the Gorgonean, but realizes that he didn't bring it with him. Then Erica blocks Athena's attack with Cuore di Leone. After Athena traps Erica in a magical barrier, she grabs Godou by the shoulder and kisses him. Godou struggles to stand up but collapses. As Athena is about to make her move, Erica breaks free and summons her holy lance of Longinus. Athena can't believe that a follower of Hermes would choose to fight her, as she's not even a godslayer. Elsewhere, Liliana senses Athena is in combat with Godou's group. While the battle rages between Athena and Erica, it's made clear that Athena is just playing with her. With her giving props to Erica for being able to wound her, Erica is still proud, declaring that the blade of Longinus is cursed, as it can cut anything, even a god. Athena licks her hand and is able to heal the wound. She's disappointed as she was willing to give her divine protection, but now she must treat her as an enemy. Erica is able to dodge and throw the spear, aiming to pierce her, but Athena breaks it into pieces. The pieces of the spear now for a cage for the god, allowing for Erica to flee with Godou. Meanwhile, a running Yuri is confronted by Liliana. Yuri is confused to see her friend in Japan, but Liliana asks that she hand over the Gorgonean. Yuri is unable to do this as she must give it to Godou. Liliana is willing to use force, but luckily Amaterasu appears and drives Yuri away. The man then puts a barrier around Liliana, allowing them to escape. 2 hours later, Godou wakes up resting on Erica's lap. Godou apologizes for not protecting her better as a Campione, but Erica doesn't want his words, but his actions. Erica presents Godou two options. Either he learns all he can about the gods, or he kisses her. Godou agrees with the second option, saying he's only doing this to receive the knowledge to defeat Athena. But she tells him that won't work, as he has to believe in it or it won't work. The two kiss, and he hears more of the history of Athena and Medusa. But just then, the sun turns to black as a dark shadow envelops the city. In the Tokyo region, the city is suffering a major blackout. In the car, Yuri notices the storm clouds covering the night sky. Amaterasu explains about the effects of Athena's recovering her true form, as the earth will be drowned closer to the underworld. Looking down at the Gorgonean, Yuri can see the metal begin to move like a serpent. Amaterasu tells Yuri to leave the car here, even if they can't outrun a god. It's better than nothing. Elsewhere, Athena utters a spell and summons a flock of owls to seek her snake. On the road, Team Godou are surrounded by a flock of Athena's servants being owls that fly beside Ariana's car. As they came from the depths of the underworld, Godou questions why Athena goes by so many titles. Goddess of Earth, Goddess of Serpents, Goddess of the Underworld. All he knew was Athena being the god of wisdom. Erica says that the ancient history of the gods is long and complex. Grabbing his cheeks, she offers to teach him more. Godou is a bit hesitant as he thinks it's improper to do it here. Erica offers to kiss him here as it's private enough as there's no one around. But Godou peers to the front to see the maid staring at him. Godou tries to tell Ariana to focus on the road, but it doesn't affect her much. They're interrupted by a phone call from Yuri. Godou asks if the girl has finished the task of purifying the Gorgonean, but she reports back that she needs more time. Godou instructs Yuri to leave if the worst comes. Yuri tries to argue, but she tells him that it's his job as a Campione. Yuri responds that it's also her responsibility as a princess shrine maiden. As she can't run away from this, Erica informs Godou that she's similar as running away from them isn't the kind thing to do. Godou relents but tells Yuri if things get bad to call out his name. As long as she thinks of him, he'd be able to appear soon enough. After the call is over, Amaterasu can't help but ask the blushing girl, when did the two get so close? Yuri didn't see themselves as close, asking where he got that idea from. Amaterasu can't believe she's this dense. Running on foot, Erica chats with Godou about Yuri, asking if he's planning on using the Tempest avatar if Yuri is in danger. Godou says that he would. She allows Godou to add Yuri if he makes Erica his #1 other wife. Godou doesn't see why she's talking about this now, but she ignores him to remind him that her, Erica Blandelli, being his #1, with her warning not to forget this. Purple lighting strikes the shrine, getting their attention, with it meaning only one thing: Athena has appeared. Over at the shrine, Athena calls to Yuri to hand over the medallion. Yuri clutches it, thinking of Godou. Yuri protects herself with a barrier. However, Athena shatters the barrier, pushing Yuri forcefully away. Luckily, Liliana catches her. Liliana attempts to convince Yuri to just hand over the stone to Athena, or she'll end her. Liliana attempts to block Athena's next attack, while begging Yuri to stop being so stubborn, but this doesn't last for long as Athena just pushes both of them to the side. With showing no emotion, Athena just grabs the Gorgonian. She tells Yuri to get a good look and to speak about her beauty for generations as she begins to prepare to revert to her true form. Athena begins to act like Soulja Boy as she starts listing all her old titles. When she transforms, she stops looking like a lowly and turns into an elegant winter beauty. She notices that she cannot wield most of her powers. Yuri continues to believe in Godou and says that Athena still needs to fight to keep this form. This amuses the god as she tells the girl to continue. Yuri puts all her belief in her words and shouts Godou's name out loud. Then Godou arrives at Yuri's side. Liliana smiles as Yuri has a good relationship with her king. Erica looks at her, saying she knew her rival would appear here in Japan. Yuri begins to cough, and Athena explains that Yuri has been cursed by her Wind of Death technique. Godou summons his golden sword to lift the curse off Yuri, and he demands Athena to simply leave and he won't stop her. But if there's one thing a god wants, is entertainment, as she is excited for a battle with Godou. Godou is annoyed by the woman saying she wants to play some more, as she's already killed many of the innocent and burnt down their city. When Athena starts her attack, filled with darkness, but it's deflected by Godou, Godou asks Erica to protect Yuri on her honor as he's decided to take Athena down. Erica gives Godou a kiss as a pre-celebration, giving him all the knowledge she has on Athena. Godou then creates his world being the battlefield of the Golden Sword. Athena is impressed and summons her own army of owls, forcing him to slice through the danger. On the side, Erica is impressed the normal girl can see such a battle. Yuri asks what this golden ability is, and Erica explains. The owls she fires are a constant wave of projectiles, forcing Godou to run away. Athena finds it disappointing and summons a large snake, with her now having 2. Athena says that this battle is to the death, and there is no moment that either one of them can run. Godou smiles as this was all a part of his plan as he was waiting for her to summon her 2 snakes. He starts explaining the true origin behind Athena. With his explanations, the golden sword pierces Athena's serpents, turning them to stone and shattering them. He continues to say that the goddess of the earth wasn't always compassionate, as in during the spring she would take the lives of many. Causing natural disasters for fun, Athena jumps away, demanding that he not continue to force her to remember. She's had enough of the truth, so she summons her cursed bow and arrow and begins to fire at Godou. As he points out Athena's trinity, Athena attempts to petrify Godou's world. It reveals that Athena was never Zeus's daughter, but a queen of the gods. Godou frees himself and engages Athena in close combat while reciting the knowledge on Athena's origin. As all the male gods revolted against her, overthrowing her, and Zeus came to power, rewriting history. Athena was made his daughter, but was actually turned into a monster named Medusa. Thus, the winged serpent and queen lost her true form, becoming nothing more than an empty vessel. Godou's words of power cut through Athena's divinity, as her legend was then turned into the dragon that's recalled throughout fantasy. The queen of all gods became the dragon to all the stories that the hero must defeat to become king. Godou's words defiled her, as she is unable to do anything. Erica then begins to leave as the battle isn't over and Godou will need her soon. In the city's park, Godou has used up his golden sword as Athena managed to survive, as her snakes also mean immortality. Athena unleashes a flurry of attacks with her scythe, understanding now that Godou can't use his trump card without the sun. Godou taps into his horse avatar to fire up the sun and blasts Athena. While Athena protects herself with her shield, Godou tells her not to underestimate humans, as he catches Erica's lance and throws it at Athena. When the lance pierces through Athena and the horse's flames finish off Athena, turning her back to her child form. Among the smoke, Athena asks Godou to finish her off, as it's his right as the victor. Godou tells Athena to leave the country, as he'd rather leave things here. Erica can't believe this, and Athena is confused as well. Godou said he just wanted to win, nothing more. Athena says he's weird, but promises to carve his name into her heart, vanishing. Erica states that she wanted Godou to take Athena's authorities, always knowing he could defeat her. Then, Yuri points to the destruction in the park. Meanwhile, Amaterasu makes a report to his superior. The next morning, they look at what the news is saying about the disaster. Godou is annoyed as he told Erica not to barge into his house. Erica points out it's not just her this time as Yuri walks in. Surprising them, Yuri says she's made her mind up. She calls him irresponsible and shameless, so starting today, she's going to keep an eye on this. Starting with how close Erica is to him, the two girls begin to fight over their territory. With the sister annoyed, he's done it again. Early in the morning, Erica's in bed at her 5-star apartment. Godou tries to wake up Erica, who is sleeping, but falters for a bit. He shakes the girl to wake up, but Erica is a hard sleeper, greeted to her, seductively asking Godou to help her dress. Eventually, he snaps out of it. Meanwhile, Yuri wakes from her nightmare of Duke Vauban. In the kitchen, she makes her lunch. Her little sister Hikari eats some of Yuri's egg rolls. Hikari teases Yuri about Godou, saying the king will be pleased. Yuri is confused about this king she speaks of, but then realizes she's talking about Kusanagi, making her ask where she heard this from, and the little sister tells her that Amaterasu told her. Yuri sighs as she can't believe he's still teasing her about this. Hikari calls it romantic that she's trying to use feminine wiles to make the king hers. Yuri is completely lost with what she's saying, so the little sister happily explains in detail. It takes a second, but it leaves her beet red. Yuri begins to back Hikari away, as it's completely improper for a shrine maiden to engage in such a way with a man. Hikari ignores her outrage to get a bigger container for his lunch, as this is much too small of portions. But the bento she gets is the size of a family meal. Yuri is embarrassed, as all she's trying to do is give him proper guidance to do better. But she's interrupted again as Hikari asks if serving the king would make her his wife. Yuri stops as she hasn't thought about it like that, picturing their traditional wedding. While walking with the bento, she can't help but ask if Godou is different from the other Campione. In class, Yuri finds Erica sitting on Godou's lap and causing misunderstandings with her flirtatious words. As she said, he gave it to her when she asked. In a split second, Yuri crosses the distance to appear like a Japanese demon to enact her fury. She begins to tear into both of them for this public display in a place of learning. She calls Erica a cheap and shameless woman. Erica doesn't care. As to her, Godou is already here, so it's natural. Yuri doesn't care, as they shouldn't do it here, with their avatars ready to do battle. During baseball practice, Erica wows the crowd with her batting prowess, then shows off her fast pitches. While girls cheer her on, Yuri speaks with Godou. Yuri is concerned that Erica is cheating, but Godou defends her as she would never use it for personal gain. Yuri sees that he really does trust the knight, and Godou affirms that he does. The girl may act like a princess who does what she wants, but deep down is a courageous girl. Yuri is jealous that she's not athletic. Hearing this makes Godou laugh. This makes Yuri annoyed he's making fun of her. Just as they're having fun, Erica interrupts as she wants to take her pitching up a notch, asking Godou to catch her balls, but he refuses as baseball is a sore topic for him. He used to be a star player, but an injury kept him sidelined. But becoming a Campione healed him, but he doesn't want to use the power to become a star player. Yuri admires this. Erica challenges Yuri to a match. When she refuses, Erica insults her as she will always be a backseat driver, while her, being Erica, will always be his #1 wife. It works, and Yuri is playing, having never done this before. The game gathers a crowd as both girls are idols of the school. Yuri is worried that Godou might be injured by this, but he tells her he's fine. With both determined to beat Erica as they're talking, Yuri gets a future prediction on what pitch she's going to throw. Godou calls out to her, but she doesn't respond. He asks her about what she saw and manages to predict the ball will come right down the middle. The plan is to let her swing full force on the first, but Yuri proves to suck at sports as she's much too slow, with it already coming down to the last pitch. Yuri is cornered with her already tired. Godou attempts to help Yuri time her last swing, telling her to move on his signal. She understands, and Erica throws the last pitch. Yuri celebrates as she hit the ball, but she instead hits Godou. Elsewhere, Liliana checks out the crater created by Godou and Athena's battle. At lunch, the three sit down together where Yuri reveals the bento she prepared. Godou thinks it's too much food for her to eat, and she blushes, saying she just overcooked. Asking him to have a bite, Erica samples Yuri's food and comments that she prefers softer eggs. Godou says the girl has no room to speak as she doesn't even cook. He then takes a bite of her food and compliments Yuri's cooking. Erica now understands as Yuri is trying to seduce the king with food. Yuri defends her actions. Erica then persuades Yuri to buy a cell phone as she borrowed one yesterday from Amakasu. Erica then instructs Godou to take Yuri to get a phone after school as the girl is now part of their group, so she'll need to stay in contact with them. Not to mention, she now has to keep an eye on a living, breathing disaster. She then calls Godou to make her point, and Godou can't believe Erica is able to talk her into this. Not to mention, Erica points out she can talk to Godou more to give him more of that guidance she wants. Yuri agrees to talk to him more, but gets embarrassed as it sounds like she likes him, making her run out. After Yuri is gone, Erica tells Godou to make Yuri his because of Yuri's usefulness. However, Erica tells Godou not to make this a habit as he's not allowed to take any more girls in. Moments later, Godou takes Yuri shopping for a cell phone. Yuri is intimidated by the options as all she wants to do is call, not needing a computer. Godou picks out his own phone with this, making Yuri happy as she can lean on him for questions on how to use it. In the park, the girl is terrified when it comes to modern technology, but after some hours, Godou and Yuri exchange contacts. Coming home, Godou receives a call from Salvatore, in which he immediately hangs up the phone. The man calls back again. Salvatore calls him mean, but Godou yells at him, asking how he got his number. Salvatore calls him dumb, as of course he'd know his best friend's phone number. In Italy, the two had a frightening battle to the death, with Godou still mad he went all out against a rookie who's ranked below him. Godou is ready to hang up, and Donnie gets to the point, being that Duke Vauban and his powers, with the man being in Japan right now, telling him to go pick a fight with him. Donnie wants Godou to get stronger, so this is a good opportunity to do so. At the shrine, Liliana breaks into Yuri's bathroom and kidnaps her. Later, she presents Yuri to Duke Vauban, with the Duke knowing that she was the one watching her. He planned on hunting Athena down for sport, but now that is gone, he needs a new prey, with him claiming that Yuri is now his as she's going to complete a ritual that nearly took her life last time. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this. So I'll see you in the next one.